Yeah, and sound.
Okay, good. Sound speeding?
Yes.
All right, everyone, I'm calling this week's legislative body meeting to order on November 17th at 3:17 p.m. So first up, we are going to take attendance. Vice President Balf is here. Senator Biagini. Here. Senator Chavez. PPT Clemens is excused. Senator Cochran is excused. Senator Conley. Here. Graphic designer Kurtai. Here. Senator Cebulski. Here. DEI Chair Dixon is excused. Treasurer Feld. Here. Chief of Staff Gary. Here. Recording Secretary Hildebrand. Here. Senator Lories. Here. Comms Director Lucero. Here. Senator Mahone.
Here.
Senator Patterson. Here. Senator Polizga. President Rangel.
Here.
Senator Roberts. Here. Senator Sharifi is excused. Senator Shepard. Parliamentarian Wright. Here. All right. We will be moving on to the approval of last week's minutes. So these are last week's minutes. Last week we had 2 reports from the executive committee, and then we had 2 committee reports, and then we had 3 items of business, and we planned a little bit of prom. So does anyone want to motion to approve these minutes? Senator Conley, would anyone like a second? Senator Cebulski? All right, now we're moving on to the agenda. So for the agenda this week, we are going to be adding in, actually, President Rangel has a little bit to report. I have something to report. We're also adding in that Treasurer Bell has something to report. DEI Chair Dixon is excused, but I'm going to be doing her report on her behalf because I was at her committee meeting. Then the Comms Committee is having their town hall this week, and we have no business for this week. So does anyone want to motion to approve this week's agenda? Senator Roberts, would anyone like to second? Senator Mahone? All righty. So, first of all, does anyone have anything for our first open floor? Cool. So, first we're going to be hearing from President Rangel. Sorry, the names are not highlighted as they usually are.
So we only have about, I think we have 2 meetings left, so we're coming on that home stretch. We're going to be planning a bunch of stuff for the spring semester. I met with Kiwi for a one-on-one this morning. That includes Multicultural Fest, PCD, the elections will be a big thing. The Washington, D.C. trip is also a topic of discussion that we might have to get on very soon because that's very time sensitive. Also prom, and I know Megan will talk about OSGS a little bit and see who's interested on that. And yeah, that's about it. I hope. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to squeeze in this next 2 weeks or so, 3 weeks. But yeah, it went by fast. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. So I can't wait for next semester.
Okay, so I'm going to jump in on what he was just talking about. So the DC trip, for those who are new here, we partner with BSU and usually Shalom, but Shalom I'm pretty sure is not active this year. But we take a charter bus down to DC for a day, and everyone pays like $5, $10, and then when you get to DC, you get your $5, $10 back. It's just supposed to be to make sure that you like bought a ticket to get on the bus, so we're not all just waiting there at 4 in the morning or whatever it is, and no one shows up. Anyway. You pay, you get on the bus, you get your money back, and then they take us to DC, and then you pretty much just get to roam free. I think it would be fun to go to Smithsonian. Smithsonian's free. There's also the African American History Museum that they go to every year. There's also the Holocaust Museum they go to every year. Me personally, I've been to both those museums a couple times, so I'm like, I want to go do something a little bit new. But those are both opportunities for you to do while you're there, and just kind of gauging interest. Who would be interested in going on the DC trip? All right, this would be like in January, February-ish, just so you'll know. Cool. All right, thank you. And then next up, we've got OSGS, which is the Ohio Student Government Summit. I know that I heard some interest from senators who were unable to make it to the Pittsburgh Student Government Summit that we held. So I wanted to gauge interest in like if senators were interested in going to a different summit. Yeah, raise of hands if anyone's interested. Okay. All right, see. The thing with that is we'd have to register now, and we'd either have to send either me or Chief of Staff Gary because we don't get a bus for that, so we just have to drive ourselves. which means that one of us would be going with you. We would be getting a hotel overnight, so it's a 2-day summit. And yeah, it's a good opportunity to like network with other people that are like of similar interests with us. I always find it refreshing because it's like, oh my god, other people care. Wow, it wasn't just me. But if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the Slack and we can talk about that. I also reached out to 2 different volunteering places this week. So the Red Door, which is down the street on Boulevard of the Allies, as well as the garden, which is behind West Penn. So the garden behind West Penn has just been cleaned up, so they're looking for like a little bit more weeding and then maybe some like beautification over the winter time. I think that it would be a good idea for us to do like an indoor beautification project, so we can take the like stones or whatever we want to add to the garden out when it's like, when the weather isn't as harsh for it. Because I looked up things that I'm not a gardening expert by any means, I actually kill everything I touch, but I looked up what you can garden over winter, and anything that we would have been able to plant over winter, we would have had to do in like August. So there isn't really anything we can plant right now, but we can do that in the spring. So we can do beautifying until then, and then we can plant in the spring. And then for the Red Door, they do 2 meals a day, I want to say Monday through Friday in the mornings. So let me get that exact time, and we can figure out if that's something that we're interested in doing. Yeah, so they do volunteers from 9 a.m. till 11:45 a.m., Monday through Friday. I am available to show up for one of those dates. Does anyone else have availability during that time slot? Raise your hands. 9 to 11:45, Monday through Fridays. Alright, it sounds like we might just not be able to help the Red Door. That's okay. We can look for more volunteering opportunities. Maybe next semester we can do, but also if we want to help out with a food kitchen like sooner, like over winter break. Okay, raise of hands, how many people are staying over winter break? Raise of hands, how many people are interested in still being active over winter break? Okay, we'll make like a winter group type thing. Yes? Maybe? Maybe. Okay. Then we'll make like a winter group thing, and maybe we'll do like a Christmas soup kitchen thing. That could be fun. And I think that's everything I've got for this week. So next up is, hi! I guess DEI Chair Dixon, which I guess I'm speaking for as well. So DEI Chair Dixon is starting to plan a multicultural festival. So she's got like high aspirations for it. She wants to reach out to all of the identity-based clubs and boards on campus, see what they want to see there, as well as she's going to make a plan. If you guys are interested in helping with the multicultural festival, she's going to make like a week-by-week plan, and then people can be assigned different portions of planning Multicultural Fest. And then she also briefly discussed hotel tabling for like winter, once it gets colder, bringing like hot chocolate or hand warmers or something to tabling. I know that Senator Roberts, you were also there for this. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I had a couple ideas. I think, I think maybe we could even survey the students and find out like certain things that might have already rose as issues for them. And then I think like winter gear might be like something we should really focus on if they're in need of anything. And then definitely like hand warmers. We can do like, I was thinking if we're gonna do any food, maybe it would be more so like microwavable meal type things, just because if they're trying to get back and forth like as not often as possible, they might not want to make extra commutes to like dining hall and things like that. So
Yeah, I like that idea. And so that's all for DEI Chair Dixon's report, and now we're going to hear from Treasurer Phil.
Cool. So I have set the dates for winter funding and tentatively for spring 1 and 2. Winter funding will open the day we get back, December 1st from Thanksgiving break, and it will go until December 5th. Because this is a new like trial funding period, we're not going to do the normal week-long review of all of the submissions. We'll just do one review, probably December 8th before Ledge Pod, so that'll be like Monday at 2, depending on availability. And so we're looking at that, and then that period will run from January 1st until February 16th. So it will include Valentine's Day for the clubs. I'm going to send out an email after this meeting, once we finalize that, And then spring one will pick up from February 16th onward. And it will be kind of split up a little more normally from there. Yeah, so that's it, pretty simple, based on the resolutions that we passed that we're allowed to do winter funding now. We have those dates set.
Lovely. Next, we have a committee report from comms. They've got a town hall coming up, so let's hear on it.
So our town hall's tomorrow. It starts at 6 and it's gonna be an hour long. We are going to have IHOP there, and we're also going to be doing a raffle, so if you guys can come and attend, that would be great. We're basically just doing an open discussion. There's a bit of an agenda, like we're gonna be working through like a welcome, a bit of what student government is doing, and then we're gonna have an open discussion with the students where they can just bring up any questions, and we'll hopefully have an answer for them, or we can find an answer. And then they'll also be bringing up concerns that we can work on either this semester or through the next semester. That's about it. If you can make it, that would be amazing.
And spread the word, tell all your friends. So senator reports. Do any senators have anything to report this week? Senator Beju.
Let me have you on mics. About my colon art initiative, I received an email back from, forgot her name, but she said that we're not gonna be able to have boost on weekends.
This year.
Or, yeah, like this year because of like B3 opening and everything, so I don't really know if that means I should like look into further options or.
You've started the chain of communication, so now you can talk about it being a possibility for next year, as well as other improvements for like weekend dining options for this year.
That's true.
Because B3 isn't even open on weekends, so if they want to focus on B3, they should probably have something on weekends. I think it's ridiculous that the dining hall is the only thing available on weekends. That's crazy to me.
I agree.
Yeah. Senator Patterson?
I did my senator training on Friday, and I also got to sit through the meeting.
You also met Mark Palumbo.
That is.
That
is what.
He walked in the middle of her training.
I got a card to one of the shows.
Yeah.
SGA trip to see 1980 by George Orwell?
Okay, bring it up in your senator report then. Bring it up in your senator report.
Okay, I think,
Senator Mahone.
yes, I think we should have an SGA trip to see, from Mark Palumbo's theater company, the play 1984, adapted from George Orwell's dystopian novel.
1984.
It's really deep and stuff about society.
It's really deep.
Senator Patterson.
Thanks, Charlie. You're welcome.
Showing December 4th through the 7th. Just like
Yeah, it's
that.
right in the middle of winter funding. I don't know if we can swing.
Can we request funding from ourselves to go to?
But yeah, we were talking about going to see Mark Palumbo's 1984. So if anyone wants to join, I know that none of you really know who he is, but if you guys want to see the former president's play, it's his new theater company, so he's onwards to something big, hopefully, other than the lottery. You heard about the lottery video that he did?
Yeah.
He's playing chess in the park with an old man. It's just his Tuesday. I'm sorry. But we'll derail there. Talking about Mark Palumbo. Does any other senators have anything to report? All right. Second open floor. Does anyone have anything for our second open floor? We don't have any business, so like this is pretty much the end of the meeting. Is there anything we want to talk about?
I don't know. I kind of dropped the ball on the AI petition stuff, but I do think we should like put together an ad hoc like meeting just to kind of workshop the language of petition. I don't know when. Like, can I get a show of hands of like who's interested in like talking about that? Okay, I will hit you all up on Slack then, and we can discuss it and schedule a meeting there.
All right. Did we finalize Senator Patterson?
I did have a question about like the heaters. Is there any updates like on the heaters in Village Park?
Yeah, so installation of the heaters is not our project. We purchased the heaters, but then installation was a conversation that started last year with the last student government administration. So we have heaters. We have 6 heaters sitting upstairs for Village Park that are just, we were told to order the heaters, and then we ordered the heaters, and we got the heaters, and we said we have heaters, and they said, we never told you we can order heaters. We never told you to do that. And so now they're confused that we have ordered the heaters, and so they don't want to install them. So we're still in conversations about how to install the heaters, because we are technically not allowed to do that, which is a little bit disappointing. Yes, Gavin?
And you said that was with physical plant?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Physical
Not really.
plant is a difficult office to work with.
It's very on-brand.
Yeah, it's actually very on brand from our perspective. Not right now. Did you have something to say, President Rangel?
I guess I'll elaborate on that. We did work a lot with physical plant and with Tom getting the, getting us the layout of the electrical grid or whatnot in Village Park so we can see how many actual heaters we can buy, because they heavily favored electric heaters over the debate for gas heaters. So that's why we initially went with them, and yeah, we deliberated with them quite a bit, and we got the go-ahead. We did. But we kind of got lost in the shuffle of them doing everything. So I think it's still good. I was under the impression of it being like a checkout system for clubs to just take some heaters and like put out in Village Park as like portable things. I never knew about it like getting installed, but that's just my thoughts. I don't know what we want to do with them. But
We've had a lot of conversations in like meetings about what the heaters are supposed to be for and like how the heaters are supposed to be used. So like one thing that I would love to see that doesn't seem like it's gonna happen is I would love to have the heaters out there like permanently installed so that way people can come and hang out like later in the evenings. But the problem with that is then that they don't want them to be permanently installed and they don't want them to sit out overnight and they're worried about weather and stuff like that, and so they'd rather it be like the checkout system that they were talking about. But the last year's administration started this project in mind with it being an improvement to Village Park for nighttime use, basically. So yeah, we're kind of like stuck in the middle of those conversations.
I think this is a lesson for senators to pay close attention on what Exec Cav wants to do and the resolutions we pass, to look closer and get the logistics handled before anything is decided.
Yeah, because basically the reason that this is happening now is because last year the administration on their way out, there's actually a Globe article about it, on their way out of the office, they basically signed a resolution saying the next year's administration has to order $2,000 worth of heaters. That's our last resolution, and it passed. So me and Christian had to order $2,000 worth of heaters as per the last administrations. Now what we do with them, nothing was passed on that. So I would have loved for them to, as an addition to that resolution, tell us what we were supposed to do with it. That would be great. So that's a lesson for you all for the future. Gavin.
And they're not like a type of heater that you can just like, it has to be like, I guess like officially installed or whatever?
I think it's just a plug-in, but then the problem with that is people could unplug them and just walk away with them. So then it's like, how are you permanently installing them?
But if you're talking about having a checkout system, then you would know who stole it, right?
Yeah, so if it's a checkout system, then it's not, then the installation isn't physical, the installation is like systematic. So it's like, how do we set up the checkout system? Who is checking them out? Does SGA have to check them out, or is it a physical plant thing? Is it a sale thing? We don't know who is going to be housing them forever. Like, I can't guarantee that SGA in the future is going to want to check out heaters to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's, now we're trying to figure out which office is going to be overseeing this long term. Christian?
I mean, I'm kind of concerned on them lasting very long, because those types, like all electric heaters in general, do not have a long lifespan. And with like anything that's used that often, I don't foresee them lasting maybe like 2 years. So installing them long-term,
Yeah.
that might be a headache for other administrations.
Yeah, so there's just a lot of conversations about implementation now that we have them. So that's the heaters update. Super fun, I know.
I thought we'd be done talking about this in the end of summer, but
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
they always come back.
Mhm. We're also trying to work with Physical Plant to do 2 other projects. One is like a bulletin board expansion that we've been planning for like, again, also about a year. And then like installing that has just been like confusing. And then there's one other project that was started by like a donation. And so that's like a new conversation that we have to have because we have the donated materials, but we need to talk about like if it's actually possible to install now. So that's an update on Physical Plant projects because I don't think you guys have heard very much about those. Yeah, does anyone have anything to announce for this week? I do. Town hall is Tuesday in the ballroom from 6 to 7:30. Please tell everyone. And if no one else has anything else, our meeting is adjourned at 3:39.